morning, guys. Get yourself all settled in, comfortable to start our practice today. Allow your body to feel supported by your prop. And close your eyes, let your hands rest on your knees, and let's just take a few moments to arrive onto our mat. A good practice to get into, and I don't usually remind you guys, but a good practice to get into when we first arrive onto our mat and we do this settling in of breathing is to perhaps set an intention. And the intention can be the same every day. It can vary, it can be different, it could be grandiose, it could be tiny, but your intention kind of for your practice. Maybe a dedication for your practice. It's usually what I do when I first arrive onto my mat. And then your intention, again, it can be something really, really small, like simply, my intention is to use my practice as a way to give myself a little bit of a boost throughout the rest of the day. Be something just as small and purposeful as that. Or your intention could be something a lot bigger. My intention would be to bring awareness and freedom from fear to those around me and to myself. So just take the next few breaths here to settle in, connect with breath, and perhaps set your intention for your practice today. I'll remind you throughout class to keep a mindful awareness of your intention. And then we'll bring our full awareness back at the end of class and see how that intention played out until the end. And with the next exhale breath, let's bring the palms together at the center of the heart. And we'll open our practice with one sound, Om. And slowly release the hands down to your lap or onto your knees. Continue to use that same pace of breath to keep that rhythmic movement of the body. Deep inhale, slow, gentle exhale. And gently bring the chin down towards the chest, lengthening back of neck. Maybe moving the chin side to side, towards right shoulder, towards left shoulder. Gently blink the eyes open, awareness back into your space, and then inhale, lift the chin, come back to center. We'll start here with a little bit of side bending. So take left hand to the floor, right arm up, reach and extend your body over. Side bending is a really good way to start waking up the body, and we're going to do some Surya Namaskar today. So just easy step over to the side. You can keep that left hand close to your body. You can slide it away. Either way, just kind of reach up and over. Find deep stretch to the right side body. You can open your chest, maybe looking up towards the sky. And then inhale, come back through to center. Release right hand, left arm up, and extend over. Find your deepest stretch here now on the left side body. Keep your belly drawn in. Extend through the fingertips. And again, you can keep that right arm close to your body. That helps to give a little bit more support. But if you want to feel a deeper stretch, maybe extend it out and go a little deeper. And then last thing, you can turn and rotate your torso, gazing up towards the sky, reaching with your left fingertips. And inhale, coming back through to center, little shoulder roll here. And then exhale, slowly come forward onto hands and knees. We'll start moving on our hands and knees today. So I'm going to try to do quite a bit of things today that help us understand the idea of inversions. And a couple of them have to do with just coming out of our comfort zone. So we're going to work a little bit of today on our headstand prep, which Has the feet on the floor, so you don't have to worry about falling, but you have to really work into the shoulders. So we're gonna really warm up the body in order to get ourselves there. Coming to hands and knees, start pressing into your shoulders, push into your fingers, drop in through your belly and kind of round your upper back a little bit, but keep your tailbone flat. So try not to tuck under. Keep your tailbone flat so that you can really press the shoulders. This is the protraction of the shoulders. This is important when we go into a headstand because you really have to kind of press the floor away. So start feeling what it feels like here to press the floor away. Squeeze your mat with your fingertips. Keep engaging, kind of hugging your rib cage in towards the center. It's a lot of engagement here. You're not just hanging out on all fours. You're really pushing and engaging. Now let's go ahead and tilt the tailbone. So tuck the tailbone under. This pushes into the shoulders a little bit more, and you can tuck your chin under, and now create that full cat stretch. Now inhale, slowly release. Release the tailbone, tilt the tailbone up. Keep the shoulders kind of relaxed to begin with, and we'll start with the tailbone. So tailbone tilts up, 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 up. You feel that nice dip in the lower back. You start to feel a stretch in your abdominals. So start to kind of engage into the lower belly, pressing the sit bones and the tailbone back and up, and then slowly start to push the floor as you elevate through the chest, roll the shoulder blades back towards each other and gaze forward. Hold here. This is our cow pose. Now here is an arching in the back. In December, we're going to be putting in some back bending. Mindy and I decided yesterday. So hopefully that's okay with you, Ruth, but we're going to put in some back bending here. And we're going to allow this back bend that we're creating here to just start to feel a little bit natural. Keep lifting the tailbone, keep lifting the chest. And then exhale, slowly curl it under. So now we're just going to go back and forth from one to the other without holding quite as long. You can hold a little bit. Find your cat. Push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest. And inhale, lift up to cow. You can hold for a little bit, not as long as the first set. Just extend, find your extension, find your lift, find your stretch, and then curl it back to the other. So go ahead and move from one to the other, from cat to cow, at the rhythm of your own breath and at the pace of your own breath. So you might go really slow, or you might go really fast. You get to decide here how your body needs to move. We'll do one last one. Curling into cat. And inhaling up into cow. And gently coming down to center, bring the big toes together, bring the knees a little closer together maybe, but not necessarily touching. Keep them a little bit apart and rest down. So this helps to stretch into the lower back more than what if your knees were wide open. We're going to open them in a few moments. So just take a moment to just find your deepest length here. Keep pulling in through belly and reaching forehead down towards the floor, even if it never touches. Steady the breath. Draw into the navel, creating space. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift the head. Roll the weight forward. Now separate your knees wide as your mat. Big toes are still touching. Sit the hips back down. And again, fold here. Now probably the forehead can come to the floor fairly easily. There's room now for your body to fit through your legs. So the stretch changes from the lower back to the inner thighs and the groin. Steady your breath, reach with your arms, keep your arms engaged. Try not to let your elbows rest on the floor. Palms are pressed into the mat. And with the forehead on the mat, maybe you can turn your head side to side. Giving your forehead a little massage, setting yourself up here for the next movement as we are going to come into our Surya Namaskar in a few moments. And then slowly coming back to center, rolling yourself up, back to your tabletop position. Bring your knees in underneath your hips, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, and go ahead and press up to your downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out. So walk out your downward facing dog, bend one knee, straighten one knee, sway the hips, move the head. Every movement feels good for you here. Weight forward, weight back, side to side. Just start to kind of really embody yourself here. Coming into the embodiment of your body. Sometimes
times when we first wake up or we first come into movement, it takes a moment to kind of just feel our way through. So as you're moving and settling into your downward facing dog, scan through your body. Notice which parts of your body need a little bit more stretch, which parts of your body are working a little extra. And just breathe and let it be. Again, we don't judge our practice by the ability of us to fit into any particular shape. Bring awareness back to your intention here. The real purpose for your practice today. What is your intention? What are you here for? Let the head hang. Let the fingers grip the mat. Let the heels press down towards the floor. Remember that if your weight is forward over your hands like a plank, this will be really difficult. So first thing you need to do here is bend your knees and move your chest towards your thighs. This will lengthen your back. Once your back is lengthened and your tailbone is reaching up, then you can work on pressing your heels down. So find yourself in whatever version or step of this posture that fits for you. Let's hold for 2 more breaths. Kind of wrapping the arms so that you're engaging into your triceps here, which are really important for our headstand prep we're going to do today. Strong shoulders, draw in through belly. And then inhale, looking forward. Walk or step your feet about center of your mat. Separate your feet hip width. Come to your Uttanasana, your forward fold. You can soften your knees here, release your hands, hold on to your opposite elbows, and let yourself hang for a moment. With the knees soft, you can really feel the extension of your spine here, so you can really extend and let go of your back. Good, that looks good. So with the knees soft, let the head hang, and then maybe let's just tick-tock side to side. And notice as you go from one side to the other, that glute, so when you go to the left glute starts to fire up. And same thing on the right glute fires up. So just notice that for a moment and see if it's even on both sides. Is your left side working just as hard as your right side? Maybe you feel it more on one side versus the other. And as we continue to tick-tock here, you might find that you can straighten the leg you're moving away from. So maybe you can straighten the right leg when you go to the left, and you can straighten the left leg when you go to the right. Just start to observe. And then maybe when we come back to center, we can see if we can straighten both legs, reach the elbows towards the earth. Now we're getting a deeper stretch into the backs of the legs, which moves into the lower back, middle and upper, and lets the head hang so there's no tension in the neck. And you want to feel this extension, almost like you're like a rag doll hanging over. Again, this is indeed an inversion because our heart and our head are not stacked on top of the other. The head is below the heart. And with the hips up, it even adds a little bit more. Now go ahead and release the hands. Walk the fingertips forward and lift your chest halfway. So this halfway lift kind of reorganizes the body. It tells the body, okay, you were upside down, you're about to come right side up, and this is a really important part of our practice. So keep your fingertips on the floor. If the fingertips don't come to the floor easily, remember you can always use a block. This will help you straighten your legs and contract your quadriceps so that you can stretch the backs of your legs. If the fingertips or palms do come down, then you can just find your halfway lift, extending your chest, opening your shoulders. And then go ahead and walk the fingertips a little further and walk the feet up to the top of your mat. This time toes and heels together, soften your knees, and gently roll yourself up. So this roll up really important. Take inventory of your body. Which muscles are working? How do they feel? Draw in through your belly. Let your shoulders hang and relax. Start to engage into the legs. Strengthen the quadriceps. Roll the shoulders back. Keep drawing in through belly. And lastly, lift the chin. So this is our equal standing posture. In Ashtanga, we call this Samastitihi. So Samastitihi is where we come to standing. Your feet are together. Weight is balanced equally between 2 feet. And the gaze is forward. See if you can bring back that feeling we usually find when we're grounding ourselves as we're seated. Notice how that feels within your body and what emotions or feelings or sensations it brings up. Whereas back to your intention here as we prepare to do our Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms coming up, looking up towards thumbs. Exhale, belly draws in, soften the knees as we forward fold. Hands to the floor on either sides of the feet. The head relaxes. Roll the weight forward to the balls of your feet. Try to straighten your legs. Inhale, lift halfway up. You can stay here with your palms down, but try to straighten your legs if possible. Exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands on the floor, so squeeze your mat. Easy step back. Coming to your high plank. First one we'll do is knees down, chest down. So go ahead and roll your weight forward to your high plank. Protract through the shoulders just like we did on our knees. Bring the knees down first, stay forward. Release the feet, bend the elbows to hug the rib cage behind you, lower the chest and the chin to the floor. Inhale, slide your body forward, come into cobra. So let your feet naturally separate as you engage into your quads, into your hamstrings, and into your glutes to lift your chest up, pressing slightly into your hands, shoulders rolling back. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, tuck the toes under, press the floor away, and come back to your downward facing dog. Adjust through the feet and settle in. You can hold and maintain your stillness here, which is, I think, is recommended for our second downward facing dog. But if you still have some movement you want to get out, by all means, move into this downward facing dog if that's comfortable for you. Staying here and breathing for a total of 5 breaths. We're about 3 breaths in. Last one. And inhale, looking forward. Easy step or walk your feet forward, back to the top of your mat. Toes and heels together. Inhale, lift up halfway, creating space. Exhale, fold again. Inhaling, arms up, extend the body all the way towards the sky, palms together, look up. Exhale, hands down by your sides, back to Savasthiti. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Keep drawing into belly as you release the hands to the floor. Head relaxes. Inhale, lift halfway, creating space, rolling shoulders back, palms down. Exhale, bend your knees, step easy back to your high plank. Find your high plank first before you do anything else. Find your high plank. Protract your shoulders. Engage into triceps and quad and biceps. And then exhale, if you want, knees down, chest down, or chaturanga. Inhale if you want upward facing or cobra. If you're going into cobra, you're bringing the hips down, you're engaging the legs. If you're going into upward facing, you're going to press with your arms to lift your hips. Make sure your feet are comfortably apart. Allow the hips to sink down, but get the knees off the floor. Shoulders roll back, and we look up. Deep stretch in the front body here as you draw in through belly. Relax your glutes and thighs. Exhale, curl over the toes to your downward facing dog. Steady your breath here. The intention of our Surya Namaskar is to warm up the body from the inside out, to create that internal heat and to get us ready for our practice. So hopefully that has been met as you hold your downward facing dog here. And I know that this posture can be really challenging when we first begin our practice. But what you, hopefully what you are going to be getting out of this is finding that you are stronger than you think. You are able to hold the postures a little longer than you think you can. I had a teacher that would say, the asana does not begin until you want to come out of it. That is very, very true. If you're comfortable in an asana, then you know it only starts when your mind starts to say, okay, I'm done. I want to come out of this now. So take one more deep breath here. Exhale. Looking forward between the hands. Easy step or walk forward. Coming to the top of your mat. The toes and heels come together. Inhale, extend the spine, lift the chest. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms coming up. Find length in your body. Keep creating space. Draw the palms together, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. We're going to do a mock Surya Namaskar B. We won't complete it. We'll just kind of get it started. So bend through your knees, coming into an Utkatasana shape. Hips move back and down. So you're going to really bend through your knees.
Lift up through your rib cage. You can have your hands at prayer in front of your heart. You can have them extend forward with the shoulders in line with the floor, or you can bring your palms together and look towards your thumbs. Find a place for you to be in and hold here for 1, 2, drop into your belly, reach up, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, hands come to the floor, hips go to the ceiling. Let yourself totally fold here. You can use your hands if they're on the floor to kind of push down and bring your chest towards your thighs a little deeper. Roll the weight forward to balls of your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Create space, deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands on the floor. Easy step back. Easy step back. High plank. Find your high plank. Good, get in your high plank. Butt down, weight forward, shoulders over wrists. Now, knees down, chest down, or chaturanga, your choice. Inhale, upward facing, or cobra, your choice. Chest forward, shoulders back, look forward, or look up if you're an upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Now from here, take the right foot forward between the hands. Big, big step. Left heel plants down on the floor. Get your balance here. Bend into your right knee. So sit the hips forward and down. Inhale and come up. So come up with your arms extended up. Sit down more. Look up towards thumbs. Hold here, 1. Reach the left hip forward. Chest up, 2. Press the left toes into the floor, 3. Can you sit down more into your right knee? 4, keep extending, strong work. 5, exhale, hands to the floor. Good, pivot your left toes, that was tough. Right foot steps back. High plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Open up, look up. Exhale, downward facing. Beautiful. Left side body. So plant the right foot down, left foot all the way forward between the hands. Close to the left hand, settle in, bring your hips forward and down. Right heel plants to the floor. Inhale, come up. Arms extend up, palms together. Look up towards thumbs. Hold here, 1. Keep that back leg strong, steady breathing. 2, 3, almost there, keep working. 4, and 5. Exhale, hands come down. Pivot right toe and left foot back, high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, steady your breath. Exhale, downward facing. Nice job. Holding your downward facing dog here. Steady the breath, steady the mind. Calm the nervous system. Bring your intention back into your point of view here, into your field of awareness. Let your intention drive you into maintaining the pose or into breathing naturally and allowing the breath to just settle into its space. And exhale slowly, bring the knees down. Let's keep the knees together, release the feet, come back to your balasana. Again, forehead towards the mat. If it doesn't quite touch, remember you can use your hands to rest your forehead, or you can use your block. You keep your arms extended. Whatever variation that makes you feel comfortable here. Steady your breath. Okay, and slowly let's roll up. All right, so we're gonna work on our headstand prep. We're super warm now, ready to get our practice moving. Remember your intention so that you don't feel like you're gonna give up halfway through here. For shoulder stand prep, it's about putting weight on the shoulders, on the arms, and about finding the inversion so that we are standing on our head. So if you feel like you're gonna need to go near a wall, that's fine, but we're not gonna lift our feet up. So there's really no danger of falling over if we're going out into shoulder stand, because we're just gonna do the prep. So we start by separating, kind of like we do in dolphin, measuring out your forearms so that you're creating a nice hug around your elbows here. This puts the shoulders right underneath the elbows. So they're stacked right underneath. And then when we release the hands, this way so you can see me. Then when we release the hands, you create a little basket for your hands, but you don't close the fists and bring the palms together. You actually keep them open. So this is our first kind of setup here for our hands. Your pinky fingers are kind of pressing into the floor, and your thumbs are kind of out, and you're going to eventually bring those to kind of the back of your head when we come into the position. Okay. So which part of our head should be on the floor? That's a really important part. If you think of the crown of your head, that's usually what needs to be on the floor. Not your forehead, not the back. Back of your head is going to go into the little basket you created. So if you come down, get the crown of your head on the floor, and then kind of let your thumbs hug into the back of your head. So once you're here for a moment, just take a moment to relax, sink into it. And notice that you start to put pressure on your neck when you let your weight dump into your head. So instead of doing that, push into the forearms so that the head slightly elevates off the floor. It may still be touching, but there's really very little weight on it, if any at all, especially here with the knees down. So this is our first part of being in an inversion, getting used to this upside down feeling, noticing how the world looks like, the perspective shift of being upside down, as well as the head being below the heart. We're going to hold here for just a few breaths, pushing into the floor, keeping the knees down, the tops of the feet down, drawing in through the belly, relaxing into the posture as much as you can, but using appropriate activation into the shoulders, biceps, and triceps, and into the forearms. One more breath. And then exhale, bring the hips down, bring the elbows down by your feet, and forehead to the floor. If you'd like to open your knees, because that's more comfortable, you can also try doing that, and let your forehead rest down. Anytime we go into an inversion, it's always a good idea to come into a balasana, child's pose, because now the heart and the head are more equal and it resettles. Again, the nervous system just feels that calmness. All right, slowly roll up. Okay, so that was the first part of our handstand prep. For the second part, we're going to try to lift the knees up off the floor so just the toes are on the mat. So again, setting yourself up, measuring out your elbows, getting ready here, finding your basket, opening through the palms so your fists are not together, open palms, top of the head, crown of the head on the floor, back of the head into your palms, move your shoulders back and away, engage into your, into your forearms here, into your biceps and triceps and shoulders. And now when you're ready, tap the toes and lift the knees up off the floor. This is similar to like a dolphin pose, except in this one, the top of the head is down instead of forward. Now notice here, when you just lift the hips up, your hips are not going to be over your shoulders. That's going to be the next part. Right now, the hips are just elevated and you're pushing the floor away with your forearms, engaging into your shoulder muscles, drawing in through your belly. The whole body's working. Try to stay onto your toes. Maybe roll onto your toes a little bit more. That brings a little bit more weight to the arms. Squeeze the core, hold here, breathe. One. Steady the breath, don't give up. Two. Notice that shift in your perspective. Try not to dump your weight into your neck or head. Use your arms. 4 and 5. Easy. Knees come down. And again, balasana. I like to come into the knees together and just let the forehead come down because that's the shape I'm already making. Doesn't take too much adjustment. But you feel free to adjust and move into the shape that feels comfortable for you. Steady the breath. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, relax the whole body. You can bring the hands down by your feet to really feel the stretch and softness of the shoulders here. And then slowly roll yourself up. Come back to your kneeling position. Okay, so if you did that right, you pressed onto the toes, lifted the knees up, you kind of created a little bit of a triangle shape with your body. What we're going to try to do now is get the hips over the shoulders. So we're going to stack the same way our hips and shoulders are stacked in this seated position, we're going to try to do that in the inverted shape. So this is where you might want to be near a wall because it does give you the idea, the sensation that you're falling backwards, but your feet are going to stay down. So at any point, if you feel like that's going to happen, you just bring your weight back to your feet, back to your legs, and you're fine. So let's try. You can watch me for the first one if you want, and then then we can do it together. So again, set up your arms, set up your hands, engage into the shoulders, set up top of the head, back of the head into your little basket that you've created. Settle in, push the floor away with your forearms, engage your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and then we'll go back to where we started here, which was our kind of dolphin shape. Now, all we need to do here is walk the feet in so that we can get the hips right over the shoulders. And at this point, this is where you start to feel like, oh no, my feet are gonna float up. You might feel that. If they start to kind of float up on their own, great, let them. If not, if they feel heavy, just keep them down on the floor, keep pushing into the shoulders, keep engaging there, hold and breathe. I'm gonna take a look at you guys. So if you haven't been in the posture, get into the posture, and I'll take a quick glance over, make sure you guys are doing this right. Let me see, go ahead, get into it. Oh, good. Ruthie, try to walk your feet in towards your face. Yes, that's it. Hold there. That looked good. Try again, Mindy. Hold there. 1. Good. I know it's tough. Try again. 2. You can do it. Don't give up. Just when it starts to feel difficult, that's when you want to hold. 3. Beautiful, Ruthie. Stay strong. 4. Almost there, Mindy. Push into the shoulders, push into the forearms. And 5. Good job. Knees down and stay with your head down. Stay with your head down. Balasana. Stay with your head down. Good. Oh, wow. You guys did fantastic. Hold your Balasana. Steady your breath. You can have your hands down by your feet. Relax into your shoulders. Let everything go. And slowly roll up to come to seated. Good job. Not easy to do. These headstand preps can be really tough, but I promise you, if you try doing this once or twice, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, you are able to hold a little longer each time. So say the first time you held it for 4 breaths, 5 breaths, maybe the next time you can hold it for 6 or 7. Work yourself up to about 15 breaths holding your prep before you even start to lift the feet off the floor. That's how we build the strength. So even though we use the shoulders quite a bit, there might still be a little bit of strain happening in the neck because we're learning and we don't know how our bodies really can sustain ourselves. So we might have put a little strain on the neck. We're going to stretch the neck and shoulders out next. So coming back to hands and knees for our needle, threading the needle pose. Take the right arm up towards sky for a little stretch the right side of the body. And then exhale, move the right arm through and plant the right shoulder down on the floor. Once the right shoulder is down, push your way forward to plant your right ear on the floor. So there should be quite a bit of space between your right shoulder and your right ear. You can keep your left hand on the floor here, supporting you, giving you a little bit of a lift on that left side. You can extend it up over the left corner of your mat, keeping your belly drawn in. With the left hand out of the way, then you're putting a little bit more weight onto the shoulder. Or you can take it around and see if you can find your right thigh, creating a little bit of a twist, a little open in the left shoulder as well. So you decide what's more comfortable or best for you. I like my arm up here, so where I always set it, feels good for me. This posture should feel good. It should not be a struggle. Lastly, if you wish, you can try to straighten that left leg. Keep your toes on the floor, just straighten that left leg. All it's going to do is just put a little bit more weight on the right side. Make the stretch a little bit more intense. Easy breathing. And you can do that left leg back, whether you have the hand on your thigh or whether you have the hand in front. Either way, you can use the leg extension. And then exhale, bring the left knee down, slide the left hand back in front of the face, push into the floor with that left arm, right arm counter stretches, and exhale back to center. Good, let's do the other side. Left arm stretches, open the chest, turn and rotate the body, looking up towards left thumb. Exhale, slide it through. Bring the left shoulder down. Once the left shoulder is down, move your weight forward to plant your left ear. Settle in. Get comfortable. Use your right arm to kind of push into the floor to create a little bit of support there. Or if you like, sliding into the top right corner of your mat, holding there and breathing. Or lastly, if you wish, last placement for your arm could be right hand behind, grabbing a hold of your left thigh, creating rotation in the torso. You decide where you want that right hand to be. For me, I'm going to have it extended. You pick what's right for you here. Steady your breath. Feel the stretch in the neck and in the shoulder. And then lastly, your last option here would be to tuck your right toes under and straighten your right leg. Remember, all this does is just put a little extra weight onto the left shoulder. So if you feel like that extra weight is too much, bring the right knee back down to the floor and continue to breathe. Remember, you can use that leg extension with the hand in whatever position you would want it to be. You can still use that leg extension here, so you don't have to have your arm in any particular place. Just breathe through it. And exhale, bringing the right knee down, sliding the right hand in front, pushing into the floor to come up, and slide the left arm open, twist and rotate. This one feels really good after the counter stretch. And exhale, left hand down. Good job. Go ahead and separate your knees wide this time for your balasana with your toes together, knees apart. Bring your elbows to the floor and take a moment here with your elbows down to lengthen your spine. Reach the top of your head forward. A lot of work today on the shoulders and on the arms. And then, of course, that feeling of unsteadiness when we go into our inversions. We do have one or two more inversions, but they're very gentle. We don't have to set them up too much. Maybe slide the elbows a little further away. See if you can lower your chest a little lower to the floor, a little bit more parallel to the floor. Let your body sink in between your thighs. Steady your breath. Maybe your head starts to become heavy, and you can kind of slide the elbows further away as you let your forehead or your chin come to the floor. You can keep the palms together, the elbows down. Maybe bring back into your field of awareness your intention set at the beginning of your practice today. How's that going? And then inhale, slowly lift the head. Let's walk the hands to the right side of your mat as far as your body will allow you to go. You can bend into the right elbow, bring it back towards your right hip as you rest your chin or your forehead onto your right knee, or maybe you can make it to the floor in front of the knee or the inside of the right knee. The stretch here is happening on the left side body, so keep the left arm extended, palm flat on the floor. Belly's drawn in. Forehead is on the mat, your gaze is maybe towards your toes. And then inhale, lift the head, walk the hands back through to center, and then we'll do the other side. So reach the right arm as far as it'll go. You can bend the left hand, bring the left elbow towards right hip, rest, or left hip, sorry. Rest the chin or the forehead on the knee, or take it to the floor. And really feel it on the right side body here. Steady your breath. Try to keep your eyes open, maybe a spot on your mat you can gaze at softly. When you close your eyes, you kind of are getting ready to feel relaxed. So we're not quite there yet. So eyes open, keep your awareness here. Inhale, slowly lift the head, walk the hands back to center one last time, folding forward and relaxing. This time, separate your arms, relax your shoulders, let your elbows come to the floor. Try to bring your
rib cage and chest down a little deeper. Slowly inhale, lift the head, walk the hands in, come back to your tabletop position. We're going to make our way onto our back for the last two of our inversions. Cross your feet behind you. Slide your hands closer to your knees, a little bit in front, and then push yourself up and slide your feet forward. So try to keep the feet on the floor, but your butt off the floor. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze with your arms. Then maybe slide one foot through, other foot through. Keep your butt lifted, belly in, shoulders are rounded forward. Exhale, sit down. A lot of core work for that one. Okay, starting in Dandasana position, hands on other sides of the hips, lift the chest, flex the toes back towards the face, tuck the chin down. Probably 2 or 3 poses that I do almost in every class are Samasthiti, our equal standing pose, downward facing, and this one, Dandasana. I find that these 3 poses really do kind of complete our practice. So just take a few more breaths. And slowly as we exhale, let's release the asana. And we're going to lay all the way down to our backs. Bring a block or a cushion or a bolster with you. Once you lay down on your back, we're going to take our block or cushion or bolster, lift up the hips, plant it underneath the sacrum. Okay, so to set up for our legs up the wall, we don't actually need a wall, but we do need to elevate the hips. Notice when you elevate the hips onto the block or pillow, your shoulders the weight comes a little bit more into your shoulders. You're feeling this more into your shoulders. Try to feel that left into the rib cage as opposed to sinking down and rounding into the rib cage. So keep the tailbone flat and equal. And then take the knees into the body. Maybe you need to make adjustments to your shoulders, to your tailbone, to your hips, or to your arms. And then go ahead and extend the legs up. We're going to hold here with our legs up the wall, with the feet relaxed, the belly drawn in, the shoulders soft, and the gaze towards the bridge of the nose. This is a very gentle inversion, one of the most gentle ones. This is an inversion everybody can do. Actually, this is one that we do traditionally in our maternity yoga classes because it feels so good. And it's actually helpful if the baby is inverted to get the baby back in place. It gives the baby room to move around. So if you know any pregnant women, recommend this posture to them. Relax the shoulders. Soften into your breath. Steady the mind. Try not to work too hard into your legs. So your legs are relaxed, but they're straight. And what we're going to do from here is try to go into our halasana and then maybe into shoulder stand. So we're going to press the elbows into the floor, bring the legs over the body. Now with the hips on the prop, you might be able to go a little further back than maybe you normally can. Press the elbows in, lift using your core strength, lift up and bring your hands underneath your tailbone. So right underneath your lower back. Let your feet come all the way to the floor. If they don't come to the floor, if they're hovering, just let them hover, it's okay. But if they can, if possible, let the toes come to the floor. If the toes come to the floor, then let the tops of the feet come to the floor. Hold here and breathe. 1, 2, steady your breath. 3, 4, 5, almost there. Relax the shoulders wherever you are. Calm your breathing. 6, 7, and 8. Now, slowly lift the legs up, but keep your hands underneath your lower back to try to come to your shoulder stand. So it's easy to come into shoulder stand from halasana because you're already halfway there. Your hips are over your shoulders, and you're using your arms to elevate you as you press into the toes. Hold here. 1, 2, steady the breath. 3, deep stretch in the back of the neck, but push into the shoulders. Let it be a true shoulder stand. 4, 5, keep pointing the toes up, hips up. 6, 7, steady breathing. And 8, lower the legs back down, but this time start to slide the hips back down so that they can rest back onto your prop or your block. Coming back to legs up the wall, relax the shoulders. Good job. Steady breath here. Back to where we started. And you can move your head side to side. If you feel like that was too much stretch into the back of the neck, we're going to stretch the neck the other way in our fish pose in a moment. Just move your head side to side just to loosen up any muscles that might feel a little tight. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Let your feet come to the floor. Elevate the hips to remove the prop from underneath you. Lower the hips back down. Okay, so now to get into our fish pose, to counter the stretch of the neck in those last 3 postures, extend your legs and see if you can press your palms down and your elbows down to lift your head and come onto your elbows. You're going to slide your elbows back. Keep your palms down on the floor, point your toes. Roll your shoulders back and lift through your rib cage. So once you're here, see if you can let your head come back. So already here you're feeling a nice openness of the chest, a nice openness of the throat, and a little bit of a compression into the neck. One more breath, just holding here, pulling the shoulders back, and then slowly lift the head back up, come back to center. Okay, so now for the full version of the posture, go ahead and bring the elbows forward. Sorry, hopefully Terry's not distracting you guys too much back there. Point through the toes, and then let your top of your head come down to the floor. So once the top of the head is on the floor, keep pressing into the elbows and open the chest, open the shoulders back. Now you have a little bit of weight on the top of your head. Gaze to the third eye, gaze towards the space in between your eyes. Point through your toes. If you find that you don't need your elbows as much anymore to press into the floor, your option here would be to bring your hands onto your thighs and just to feel supported by the top of your head and by your legs and sit bones. Shoulders move back, lifting through the chest. Arms can be straight or bent with the elbows on the floor. 1, 2, steady breathing. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, bring the elbows down. Release the shoulders, release the head. Come down to the floor. Relax your arms, relax your body. Make sure that there is nothing in the way of your head being flat on the floor. Take a few breaths here. Just find stillness of your body. Take your palms facing down for the moment. Easy movement of breath. So those 2 counter poses, halasana and matsyasana. Halasana, plow pose, matsyasana, or fish pose, help us to move the body in those reverse directions, same as cat and cow does. They're just a little bit different, maybe some that we don't practice as often. So take a moment to scan through your body, be aware of what's rising up for you today. Bring back your awareness, your intention. And then let's slowly bend the knees. We're going to end with a little bit of a twist. Bend the knees, bring the knees in towards the body. You can interlace your fingers or hold onto your opposite wrist as you hug the knees into the body. Try to keep the shoulders down, try to keep the back flat on the floor, kind of pressing the tailbone down and pressing the shoulders down. Just take a few moments here. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and release the left leg. Keep holding on to the right leg. Let the left foot come down to the floor. Just keep hugging that right knee in towards the body. You can use your interlaced fingers or you can hold on to your opposite wrist. Slide the left leg a little further away. Maybe it straightens, maybe it doesn't. Don't worry about it straightening. Focus more on pulling the right knee in towards the body. So if the left leg straightens but the right knee separates, it's better to keep a soft left knee and the right knee pulled in. So you can keep extending as much as you want as long as that right knee doesn't separate from your body. Point through the left toes, see if you can lengthen a little bit more, find your stretch. And then we're going to take this left leg up and over the body. As the left leg comes around, use the left elbow to support it, toe on the floor, and then slide that left foot back. See if you can get a hold of the foot, look to the right. So at this point, you might want to kind of use your left hand to guide that knee, right knee down. Just keep gazing to the right, keep pulling the right shoulder down. It's okay if the right shoulder doesn't fully touch the floor, as long as you feel that right side heavy. Rotate and twist, keep holding onto your foot behind you. And then inhale, slowly come back through the center, back to where we started. Tuck the chin in, pull the shoulders back. Maybe this time fully straighten the leg, even if that means the right knee separates slightly, it's okay. And then taking the right knee out to the right, keep the left side of your body heavy. Just an easy open hip rotation here, just to even out the two sides. And exhale, slowly come back through the center. Hug both knees into the chest once more. Interlacing fingers or holding onto your opposite wrists or opposite forearms. Keep your body centered. Notice which side gives you resistance, so you're not able to quite hug the knee in towards the body. And then holding onto the left leg, slide the right foot to the floor. Keep hugging that left knee in towards the body as much as you can, and slide the right leg away. Same as before, we don't want that right leg to be straight if it compromises the left leg. So keep hugging the left knee in and only extend the right leg as much as your body will allow. Steady your breath. And then holding on to the left knee with the right hand, taking it across the body, use the right elbow to bring the right elbow to the floor, left toe comes to the floor, and reach around, find your right foot with your left hand, and look to the left. Again, the left shoulder may not touch the floor completely, but you want to feel heaviness in the left side body. Keep pulling on the right toe towards your butt. This helps to stretch into the right quadricep. And find your twist, steady your breath, hold here. Maybe you can take that right hand and help guide that left knee towards the floor a little bit more, making this twist as intense or as gentle as your body feels it needs to be today. Slowly, gently exhale, bring everything back through to center, releasing that foot, hugging the left knee into the body again, and maybe this time going into your full stretch and flexing through the right foot or pointing. Keep hugging the left knee in towards the body as much as you can, find your breath, and then let's open that left leg out, right hand heavy onto the right side, and just let it slide open wherever it needs to go. It doesn't have to come to the floor, not even remotely. Just find it open to wherever the leg needs to be. Steady breathing. And slowly inhale back to center. Bring both knees back in towards the chest. This time, let's lift the head, hug your arms around your legs, get a nice strong grip, forehead to the knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze yourself into a tight, tight little C. Easy breath. And then inhale, see if you can release the arms and legs, but keep your head lifted, going into a little bit of an uttanasana, little extension here. And then slowly release, arms down, legs down. Just a little core work at the end. Go ahead and make your way into your shavasana. Let your feet separate, arms out by your sides, palms facing up. Close your eyes. With your eyes closed, come back to your awareness of body. Maybe bring back your original intention for your practice today. Is that intention still resonating with you? Is there any clarity or anything that has risen up because of it? Really, the work of our practice, guys, is to create a sense of internal awareness, of introspection.
And we use the physical form that we are used to, this material form, our bodies, moving it around, making it into different shapes, pulling, stretching, compressing, lifting. But these are just the tools for us to really kind of get a little deeper into our field of awareness. So keep yourself open to whatever rises up. It may surprise you. For a long time when I practiced yoga, it was simply the asana that kept me moving forward. And I came to realize that it was the state of peace in my mind and the calmness I felt in my heart that kept me getting back on my mat every day. So wherever you are in that trajectory, whether you're still focusing on the physical, which is great, it's very beneficial for us, or you're starting to see a little deeper into your practice, rest here fully with an open heart, an open mind, and relaxed muscles. Slowly and gently, let's begin to reawaken the body. Start to add movement to the fingers and the toes, stretching and curling back in, wiggling. Add some movement to the head, releasing the neck, side to side. Keep your eyes closed, keep your focus inward. And then let the movement spread to the wrists and ankles, hands and feet. Legs bent, elbows bend, bring them in towards the body. Separate your feet wide, but bring your knees in towards each other and let your hands rest on your torso. Maybe one hand at your belly, one hand at your heart or your solar plexus. Feel the movement of the body as the breath comes in and as the breath goes out. Again, drawing our attention to our intention set earlier today. Has it changed? Has it become more important or less important in your own mind? What's different? What's the same? And as we exhale, we're bring the knees into the chest one last time. Maybe rolling side to side and take the roll all the way to one side. Coming onto a side body. Let your bottom arm rest, extend out, and so you can rest your head on it.
And with the exhale, we'll press ourselves up, coming to a comfortable seated position. And we'll just seal our practice today with one sound, bringing your weight forward slightly, hands in prayer, shoulders soft, eyes closed. Namaste.